Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Carrolet Thomas, and welcome to my channel. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Today's message is rest is self-care. This is a prophetic word from God. And this is a word of wisdom. Rest is self care. Personally, I can always tell when there is a shift happening. My sleep gets raggedy. I am a peaceful sleeper, and when I am unable to rest, that's when I know I need it more. There is a lot going on right now in the world that we know about, and even more that we don't know about. Then some of us have a lot going on in our world right now. Sickness, death, and disease are running through the land. Some of it is just life, and some of it is how we live and or have lived our lives. No two people are the same, and no two people respond to things necessarily in the same way. And that is okay. It is important that we know ourselves and how we need to respond to things physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc., in order to be in health and stay in health. As the Bible says in 3 John 2, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospered. And God wishes for us that we mayest prosper and be in health, even as our soul prospereth. We should as well. Knowledge is power. So let's look at what self-care is, and then look at how rest is self-care. Self-care is the purposeful daily practice of taking steps to maintain physical, mental, emotional, and social health, such as exercising, eating well, sleeping, and setting boundaries. It is critical for reducing burnout, managing stress, and improving overall well-being. Effective self-care goes beyond pampering. It includes proactive health management and seeking professional help when daily functioning is impaired or when emotional needs exceed personal coping mechanisms. Examples of self-care activities: physical, regular exercise, even a 30-minute walk, nutritious meals, consistent sleep schedules, and getting regular health checkups. Mental, emotional, journaling, practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, engaging in hobbies, and setting goals. Social, connecting with friends and family, volunteering, or engaging in community activities. Spiritual, reflecting on values, spending time in nature, or meditation. Environmental, organizing your space to create a peaceful, safe environment. Common self-care misconceptions: it's selfish. Self-care is necessary to replenish your energy so you can effectively care for others and manage responsibilities. It's, ex- it's expensive and time consuming. Simple. Free actions like taking a walk, meditating for 10 minutes, or drinking enough water are powerful. It's all bubble baths. While relaxation is important, true self-care often involves uncomfortable tasks like setting boundaries or going to the doctor. It's a luxury. It is an essential health component and a proactive approach to preventing disease and burnout. Why self-care is important. Self-care helps rebuild your internal resources to handle stress, prevents burnout, and ensures your physical and mental health needs are met. It directly affects your ability to function efficiently and maintain positive relationships. When to seek professional help. Self-care is not a replacement for professional care. You should consult a professional if self-care strategies are not improving your mood or reducing stress, or if you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or unable to manage daily life. Types of self-care. Experts categorize self-care into 5 to 7 pillars: physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, environmental, and recreational. How is rest self-care? Rest is considered a fundamental form of self-care because it is essential for repairing the body, recharging the mind, and maintaining overall well-being. It is not merely doing nothing or laziness, but rather an active, necessary process to prevent burnout, manage stress, and increase productivity. Here is how rest functions as self-care. Number one, physical repair and restoration, muscular and cellular repair. Resting, particularly sleeping, allows the body to repair muscles and tissues, especially after physical exertion. Immune system support. Quality rest is crucial for a strong immune system, allowing it to recover and function efficiently. Energy management. It replenishes energy supplies needed for daily life, acting as a recharging station for the body. Number two, mental and emotional health. Stress reduction. Rest lowers cortisol levels, which helps prevent the chronic stress that leads to burnout and disease. Improve cognitive function. Taking breaks and sleeping improves memory, focus, and decision-making abilities. Emotional resilience. Regular rest helps regulate emotions, preventing fatigue-induced mood swings or irritability. Number three, the 7 types of rest. Research highlights that self-care requires different types of rest to address rest deficits. Physical, sleeping, napping, or passive relaxation. Mental, taking breaks during work, switching off, and allowing the brain to be unproductive. Sensory, unplugging from screens and reducing noise or light. Creative, appreciating nature or art to feel refreshed. Emotional, creating space to be authentic and pause from pleasing others. Social, taking a break from demanding relationships. Spiritual, connecting with something beyond the physical, such as meditation. Number four, shifting the mindset. Maintenance, not reward. Viewing rest as essential maintenance for your body, like maintaining a car, rather than a reward for hard work, allows for a sustainable, healthier life. Self-kindness. Taking time to rest is a form of self-love that signals you prioritize your health and well-being over constant, unsustainable productivity. How to practice rest as self-care. Set boundaries. Actively disengage from work and digital devices. Schedule breaks. Set timers for mini breaks during the day to stretch or breathe. Prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep nightly. Do nothing. Allow yourself to sit in silence and just be rather than always doing. Did you know that God and Jesus both had periods of rest? Well, they did. Now, we know that the Bible tells us that God never sleeps nor slumbers in Psalm 121, verse 4. But the Bible tells us that God made the whole world in 6 days, and he rested on the seventh day. And if God rested and he has all power, surely we need to make time to rest as finite human beings. And in my experience and observation of human behavior, if you don't rest voluntarily, at some point you are usually forced to do so, one way or another. It is important to note that God did not rest because he was tired, but because he had finished his work of creation. When did Jesus rest? Jesus rested both physically during his earthly ministry and spiritually upon completing his work. Examples include sleeping during a storm, sitting by a well, and withdrawing to solitary places to pray. Biblically, he rested in the grave on the Saturday Sabbath after his crucifixion and is described as sitting down at the right hand of God after finishing his sacrificial work. Physical rest during ministry. Jesus often withdrew from crowds to quiet, lonely places to pray. Daily physical necessity. As a human, he experienced fatigue, such as needing rest after a long journey at Jacob's well, and that's in John chapter 4, verses 5 through 6. Sabbath observance. Jesus followed the Jewish custom of resting on the seventh day, Sabbath. The ultimate rest. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 12 indicates that after his sacrifice, Jesus sat down at the right hand of God, symbolizing the cessation of his work of atonement. His rest often served as a boundary, allowing him to reconnect with God and escape the demands of ministry. The Bible shows Jesus resting to manage physical exhaustion, demonstrating the necessity of rest. Key verses include Matthew chapter 8, verse 24, sleeping in a boat, Mark chapter 6, verse 31, inviting disciples to rest, and John chapter 4, verse 6, sitting tired by a well. Jesus also promises spiritual rest to the weary in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30. Key Bible verses regarding Jesus resting. Matthew chapter 8, verse 24, and suddenly a great tempest arose on the sea, so that the boat was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. Mark chapter 6, verse 31. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." John chapter 4, verse 6. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired as he was from the journey, sat down by the well. It was about noon. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Contextual examples of rest. Sabbath observance. Jesus followed the custom of resting on the Sabbath, and that's Luke chapter 4, verse 16. Post-ministry rest. Following intense preaching or ministering, Jesus often withdrew to quiet places to rest, and that's Mark chapter 6, verses 30 through 44. Physical limitations. Jesus' exhaustion at the well in Samaria highlights his human nature and need for physical rest, and that's John chapter 4, verse 6. As a prophet that is an empath and a highly sensitive person, it is paramount that I rest. Naturally and spiritually, I feel things and sense things deeper than most people. And this prophetic word is coming from God to let you know that rest is self-care. Rest looks different for every person, and each person may have various ways in which they rest, and that is okay. Sometimes you may rest in a particular way in one season than you do in another. You may rest a particular way one day than you do on another day. That is okay. The main thing is that you obey God in word and in deed, in spirit and in truth, without debate and without delay about everything. I am telling you prophetically, as Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said in his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech, there are some difficult days ahead. So please take this prophetic word and word of wisdom seriously and rest while and when you can. Rest is self-care. I hope and pray that this message has been a blessing to you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for listening and supporting my YouTube channel. God bless you and just be happy.